I have just one question for my black people. If the life you're living right now is to be featured on television, will you be proud to watch it? Will you be proud of yourself? Will you recommend that movie to other people? If in 100 years to come, the same life you're living now is to be featured on television for your generation to watch, will they be proud of you? Will they go around and clap and say, that's our forefather? It's very important for us as people to start reflecting on the things that we do and how we are living this life. Because every decision you make, every step you take, it's a legacy you are leaving behind. Someone someday is going to either pay for the nonsense you are doing now or live to reap the benefits of what you are doing. So you choose which one you want your generation to benefit from. Do you want them to suffer, pay for your sins, or you want them to rejoice for what you have started, the good thing that you have started? The choice is yours.
When I saw this video, I knew I had to bring it down here because this is a message that needs to be shared, a message that we all need to reflect on. We may not be 24/7 aware of it or be conscious of the fact, but the thing is, we are constantly making history. What is the next generation going to say about you and your actions? Hell, if you are not you right now and you are asked to give a honest review about yourself and all the things you have been doing and how you've been carrying yourself, what are you going to say about yourself? Would you say positive things about yourself or would you say negative things about yourself? For example, if and when the next generation is talking about colorism or texturism or fissurism, would your name and picture be brought up as a prime example as someone who was proudly perpetuating these ideas? If the next generation are listing sellouts, are you going to be one of them? If the next generation is talking about people who were xenophobic, who were tribalist, who were Afrophobic, who were anti-black, who were self-hating and promoting self-hatred, if the next generation are talking about people who promoted all of these ideas and they're making a list of people with their names and everything, would you make it to that list? If they're talking about black men and women who were unnecessarily bashing each other, belittling each other, degrading each other, would they mention your name? Would they bring out a video where they can actively see you doing that? The point is, how are you going down in history? Would the next generation kiss their teeth whenever they hear your name or see a picture and or video of you? Or would they smile and say, "Aww," or use whatever cute expression they come up with during their time and say he or she was a good one? Our actions you can liken to little droplets of water just falling into a bucket. Over time, that bucket fills up and it would eventually overflow. Once it's overflowing, what are we getting? Are we getting an overflow of goodness, gloriousness, positivity? Are we getting an overflow of love, progress, unity, togetherness? Or are we getting an overflow of division and all things negative that is eventually going to affect the next generation? Everything we do, everything we say, no matter how small it is, causes something else to happen. And being aware of this fact is why I said this 2 videos ago. I worry greatly for the future generations. They are going to be our kids and grandkids. The decisions we make today would affect them like the decisions of the past affect us today.
Black people need a code of conduct. We need a code of conduct. And when you look at all the successful races across the globe, they have one thing in common. They support each other. Jews support Jews, Indians support Indians, Chinese support Chinese. But Africans will take their money everywhere else besides to their own brothers and sisters. And it's very strange because for a group of people whose morals and values are built on Ubuntu, I must say that it's not reflective in our action. It doesn't reflect in our action. How is it that we get taught Ubuntu and we practice it with every other race besides amongst ourselves? Because best believe, if Ubuntu was practiced in the manner that it should, gender-based violence would not be at the rate that it is, would not be. Human trafficking would not be. And as for Black businesses, they should be flourishing. Because in a country where you are 80% of the population, we should not be having the problems and the struggles that we have. And yes, I understand there's a lot of systemic issues that we need to deal with, which I do speak about on a daily. You guys know that. But really, I was just sitting and I'm thinking that we don't have a code of conduct. We don't. And every other successful race has one in place and they follow it and they are not afraid to follow it and to stick to it. So why is it that we cannot do the same?
Everything she said, and sometimes these things, talking about them, I always wonder what is our problem. Like, I honestly do not know, but of course it's things that these are things we need to address. Now, Samantha is a South African, so she's obviously coming from the perspective of a South African, right? On the topic of Black people supporting Black businesses, it would surprise some people to know that even here on the continent, it's a big issue. Like, you would think that okay, coming down to Nigeria now, for example, since the majority of the people is Black, like it's a homogeneous nation here in Nigeria, you would think that everybody is supporting just Black people, Nigerians, right? But you would be shocked to find out that people actively go out to get things that they can get here in the country. It's crazy. And I'm not just talking about them going out of the country to get stuff, or like leaving Nigeria to go get stuff in Ghana, for example. No, that would have been good. They are leaving the continent to go get stuff that they can actually get on the continent. Not only can they get it in their country, they can get it in neighboring countries, but they would rather leave the continent in entirety to go get it outside of the continent. I'll give you guys an example. Was it not the last World Cup, the 2018 World Cup, I believe it was? Nigeria went to, come up with a new jersey design for the team, the Super Eagles team. And what did they do? They gave the contract to Nike, I believe so. I believe it was Nike they gave it to. I mean Nike. I'm sorry, I tend to say Nike. Please bear with me. If I say Nike again, you know the brand I'm talking about. So in collaboration with Nike, they came up with a new design, right, as seen on the screen. And at the time, they were selling it for 40,000 naira. At 2018, that would be about $112 thereabouts. You would think we did not have designers in this country or people that know how to man a machine or something. We have all of that. But what did they decide to do? To take the contract out of the country. And you know what happened? A few days after the one with Nike was released to the public, the people in Aba was able to create the exact same design. Imagine if they had contracted this design to the people in Aba, to Nigerians, who were able to obviously create this exact design, right? This is how we take money out of the country, constantly feeding other people and leaving ours. Senator Ben Bruce tweeted saying at the time, just imagine if those 3 million Nigerian Super Eagles jersey were made in a firm in Aba rather than Nike. Aba tailors have the capacity to produce them. We just lost an opportunity to infuse at least $100 million into the Nigerian economy and provide jobs for our youths. If that 100M was invested into the lives of the designers in Aba, into their crafts, the goods they'll be bringing out today would have drastically changed. The quality would have drastically changed. But we would rather take it out and not only help improve the quality of others, but also help promote their name. We are also constantly helping these brands blow their trumpets. We carry their matter for head. That time now, during the 2018 World Cup, when everybody's talking about how beautiful that jersey is or was, who are they going to be talking about that made it? What brand? Nike. That's what everybody will be talking about. Oh, the brand did this, the brand did that. Imagine if it had come from a brand in Aba or a designer in Aba rather. Who would everybody be talking about then? Whose trumpet would we have been blowing instead? But no, we are blowing others constantly. Exactly how she said it. We need a code of conduct because we are misbehaving. We need to scroll our brains on tightly and use it for a change. For the love of all things good in this world, please, Black people. And of course, not only when it comes to brands, when it comes to other affairs as well, as discussed in the earlier parts of this video, right? How are we carrying ourselves? How are we treating one another? And like she said, is it in line with the spirit of Ubuntu? We have a lot to reflect on and a lot of changes we need to make mentally, physically, psychologically, all the lists that exist. We have so much to do. But I'm going to leave this here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know down below what you think about all of this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.